regardless of which, this was prior to being in a ghost hunting group, whether that's being involved in one or found in one, however you want to put it. So this is prior to G.S.I and another ghost hunting group that I found, and which unfortunately that group couldn't carry on anymore due to priorities, with this just being a hobby and not a business. Obviously family and work came first. It's proved to be too much of a challenge to the end, so but yeah, anyway, let's get on with it. So this one is actually another Ouija board one, really. So yeah, after my experience as a teenager with a Ouija board, it was a failure and not what I would deem very safe at all, as you probably heard from the other ghost story if you listened to that one already. So I decided to do a bit of research and get into it myself, really, before attempting anything like that again, really, which I did. And obviously back then there was still a bit of a real big thing about them, you know, not the Ouija boards, you know. By that time The Exorcist obviously had been well thought out and centred around the Ouija board. And also as well, another film came out, I believe it was a British film, or at least some British actors anyway, called A Long Time Dead. Again, Ouija board came out, and well, let's just say made for a good horror movie anyway. But yeah, so did some research and I decided to make one of my own, and off we went. We started getting activity fairly quickly, considering the building that we was in, which we won't divulge as of yet. This particular place has got a bit of history around it, to say the least, anyway. So it was quite interesting. Let's say that we was getting some activity. Sometimes we could be on the board 20 minutes or so. The only reason it moved is because our arms were getting tired, was resting on the glass, you know, so it was things like that, really. Anyway, yeah, as time moved on, we started getting quite a lot, and some very interesting ones as well. We actually managed to get one on that was based around the actual venue itself, telling us things that we didn't even know. We got a spirit come through the board. It was telling us that it hadn't existed and it wanted to exist so it could die, so that was alarm bells. So we quickly got rid of that one. Anything that's allegedly not existed but wants to come through is either elemental based or certainly not good anyway. You might as well just put these signposts up there going like that, and bloody evil, and if you don't do what I say and shut down and do all that sort of stuff correctly, then it's game over. So yeah, we got rid of that one quickly, and then we got another one. Didn't think much of it, but one that we did get was very interesting. To do Ouija board, and I was already determined that because I was having to hold the glass as well as do the writing and that, I thought it'd be an idea to literally just how should we put it, just, well, write some questions down, really, and have it as yes and no answers for about the first 10 questions. Twofold one made my job easier, which meant I could concentrate a little bit more, and number two also meant, because I used closed questions, so there was yes and no answers apart from, you know, what year did you pass, if you know you passed, you know, which I had fairly earlier on in the questions, just to determine how safe the spirit was. yeah, so the first 10 questions were like that really, so I can't remember the questions exactly off the top of my head, to be honest. Did have them written down. And that was a general formula for that. So we started asking questions anyway. We got to a stage, we got a spirit, and it wasn't very nice. So it was there, and we decided to test it a little bit, rightly or wrongly. So we started to antagonise it a little bit, cautiously. It didn't take it long for that spirit to start retaliating back to us, telling us to F off and stuff like that, trying to threaten us a little bit. There's nothing that we hadn't seen already. That was until he turned around and prompted to ask a question to one of the guys on there. He said to him, how's your girlfriend? My word, well, he looked like, he was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I know what your girlfriend's doing. What do you mean you know what she's doing? She's reading a book. Well, at this point I was looking across him. I mean, he wasn't nicknamed Jack in order for any reason. So it was literally a case of let's make sure he's telling the truth here scenario. And she's reading a book. This is all coming through on a Ouija board. What book is it? Said the name of a specific book, again, details I can't remember. Talking quite a few years ago. And let's just say he went a little bit goosebumpy, and he says, I've got to go. I've got to go and see and ring the girlfriend, because I got that book on the way to work. No one knows she's got it, just me and the bookstore. Unfortunately he left before we could X him out of the Ouija board properly, so we carried on anyway, just me and another female there. Then they turned around to the female and they said they called her a slag or something like that, I think it was. Which if you'd known her, it would have, like, at face value, not really bothered her too much, but inside you could make her do a bit of a gulp. So I was like, okay, that's fair enough then. Next thing you know, he sort of like started talking, and he went to me, he says, oh, your dog's in danger. Well, I did have a dog, so it did well to know I had a dog. I decided not to show any emotional content at this stage at all. Didn't want it feeding. So, dog's in danger, there's not a lot I can do, unfortunately. And the next thing you know, it spelt out "Tonight You're Mine," and it spelled it the American way, so you guys, T-O, and then N-I-T-E instead of how we spell it, obviously, which is T-O-N-I-G-H-T. So it said, "Tonight You're Mine, goodbye," and that was it. So suffice to say, anyway, I was a little bit on edge. Who wouldn't be after being told that just been threatened by a spirit on a Ouija board? So we promptly closed the board down anyway, to say the least. As a result of that, let's just say the point where I got over the fear of my dog by challenging myself when I was a lot younger materialised again. And that night when I went home, I did that thing that probably quite a lot of people would do when they get home in the dark on their own, is they turn around, and I was turning one light on, turning the light on in the next room, going back, turning the other light off, and did that until I got all the way up into my bedroom. And that night, a weaker mind, I think, would have sent absolutely off the end of the scale of insane, really, because all I could hear all night was the sound of a glass going across the board when the glass moves across the board, just like that. That's what I could hear all night until I went to sleep. After that day I was perfectly fine. So it was just that night. So are Ouija boards dangerous? If you don't do them properly, you're not with loads of people that know how to do them properly, yeah, they can be. Make sure you know someone who really knows what they're on with. At that stage of the game I was a little bit more aware of them, still a little bit green as to some of the potential issues and that. I learned and I came out the other side. So yeah, another Ouija board ghost story.